Hey, what's up, everyone? It is Jeff with Full Send Collectibles, and I hope you're doing well. It's been a while since I posted a video. There's been a lot of time in the PSA turnarounds recently, so I've been sitting on my hands for 3 months waiting to get some cards back and see how we did. We just got back about a 50 card order after about a 3 month turnaround, which is a real long time, but PSA did send an email lately that said they were expediting their turnarounds for all service levels, so we'll see if that comes to fruition. If you've been following my videos, I've been going back and forth with PSA and Beckett. I think both are, solid options to grade. I actually like the Beckett slabs better, but I like the PSA resale prices better. So I generally try and pick and choose between the real gems to go to PSA and the stuff that maybe has a slight flaw but can still get the 9.5 out of Beckett. We just got this 50 card order back, so we'll see how we did. Before we get into it, 2 cards that actually didn't get graded. They thought the Sam Vincent Michael Jordan was didn't meet the minimum size requirement out of the pack, so no grade, no charge. And I bought a collection recently, so some of the stuff in here is from that collection. You wouldn't normally see me buying it or grading it. Tried to get this book grade, pretty sweet. Dual RPA, Breece Hall, Garrett Wilson on card auto, but I don't believe they grade books, or at least I didn't submit it with maybe the correct way or whatever. But I think there's something in here for everybody. I got a bunch of junk wax. I got a bunch of modern shiny shit that I got out of a collection, and my son and I did some breaks, so hopefully you guys like what we have. I see a Jordan on the right, so we'll start with that pile. This one actually came out of one of my buddy's boxes. I influenced him to buy some Skybox, one of the coolest sets of all time, one of my favorite Jordans, if not just my favorite Jordan, money aside. That one looked pretty good, came back a 9, so Mano, that's yours. I'll send that down to you, buddy. Up next, I have 90 hoops, a couple Michael Jordan All-Stars, I think, in here. That one came back a 9, pretty close. Just throw that's a 9. If you believe in pop control, which I'm starting to believe in, I've sent in a bunch of those Jordans, hit only 9s, so pop control, for those of you who don't know about it, is the theory that PSA on purpose takes the Jordans and gives them because you can't tell the difference between a 9 and a 10, let's be serious. Gives them 9 to control the amount of 10s that are out there. 90 Hoops All-Star, 9. I've actually done pretty good on these in the past, but recent submissions, not so much. Here's a Bird Jordan Fanimation. This was actually featured in the last 2 PSA magazines, I believe. They did a feature on kind of comic book art and cards, as well as Larry Bird in the last one. Both Fanimations in both. This one came back a 9. These are going up in price, especially the Jordan and the Jordan Bird. These were about $100 when I started grading them. Now they're, I think routinely the Jordan anyways, like in the $200 range. So those come out of the 92 Upper Deck box, which is not cheap. It's like last I checked, somewhere in the vicinity of like a $225 box. I mean, it's not the most expensive, but still, it's not like ripping into $50 boxes. Looks like we have a couple of precious metal gems up next. Not the real good ones. These are the Fleer Retros. I collect my favorite players in them. These are hard to 10, hard to 9 actually. So these are just for my PC. I don't really care how they grade. Just buy them, slab them, throw them on my wall. There's a Iverson, came back as an 8. Same set, 2012 Fleer Retro. Lonzo Mourning, came back as a 7. I dig those. Looks like we have some ultramodern stuff next. Amen Thompson, this is numbered to 175. This came out of a collection I bought. One of the hottest rookies out there, in my opinion. And Purple Flash, PSA 10. Nice card. Speaking of hot rookies, Paulo, unfortunately plays for the Magic, but they're on the come up. Contours, PSA 9. Ant-Man, this was a Phoenix, number to 25. 10. It's like the scope. These are pretty cool. This card is dope. Bilal Koulibaly. This is the Nike patch. This is number to 3 out of Spectra. First off the line, gold. Came out of a collection that I bought. It's purely for resale. I'm hoping to 10 it just for the resale value, but I mean, still worth quite a bit as a 9 or whatever. Hopefully it's not less, but yeah, 9. So it's a thick card. I really debated whether I send this into PSA or Beckett. I mean, I'm really not gonna fuck around and crack it and try it again. I'm just gonna let it ride. But sweet card, Nike patch, nice signature. I'll get that right up on eBay. Up next, Paulo to 42. That's the pink. That came back as a 10. That's sweet. It's actually kind of a crappy card, but it's Paulo. It's a rookie. And is it a rookie? Nope, it's not a rookie, but it's number to 42, and it looked like a 10, so I graded it. Jokic to 25. 10. All these, I only grade them because they look like 10s. Ja, this is a Deca Auto. 9. Not silver or anything, but still cool nonetheless. It's Ja. Here's a LeBron to 88. 10. Just like random inserts, but like you 10 these and I don't know what they're worth. 75, 100-ish. This is cool. Derrick Rose, Mojo, Deca. These are numbered to 25. 9. Nice card though. Some Bulls fan out there, some Derrick Rose fan out there. Looks like we're moving on to football. My son and I did a couple of breaks. This was Phoenix. We hit a Lamar. This is like a short print insert, case hit or whatever. Gridiron Crowns. Looked close to a 10, so I tossed it in there. 9. This one came out of the collection. This is a Jahmyr Gibbs Cosmic. So these are like super expensive, pretty rare packs for those of you who don't know. This is his rookie. This is sweet level, which is real nice. I don't know what it's worth as a 9. I was really hoping for a 10 on this, probably like 500 plus if it was, but I would imagine it's still in the $250, $300 range, maybe a little more. We're Bills fans around here, so we got this Josh Allen Prism Flashback No Huddle. Looked perfect to the eye, so that'll go on my son's wall. 10, pretty sweet. Probably a bunch of Bills in here coming up. Here's a James Cook rookie out of Obsidian. That's numbered to 29. Red Flood. 9. This is a PC, so part of how I collect is like who's won me fantasy, season sports, and Josh Gordon's one of those guys. Had an absolutely electric career for like 2 years. Probably literally could have been a Hall of Famer, but just couldn't keep it together on the field. One of the, in my opinion, most talented athletes that ever set foot on the field. You can get his cards for cheap because he only played, a few years of football. So I just wanted that on my wall. I actually asked them to just grade the auto. They didn't listen, but it came back as a 9, so that's kind of cool. Out of a break, Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, number to 99, tandems, red. Oof. Must have missed a dent or some shit. That's a 6. That's rough. Hate when you spend $20 and it's worth less. Oh yeah, there's like 2 dents right there. You can see them. Whoops. I think PSA did that. I'm almost positive they did. Looks like we got some more Bills here. Ray Davis. We like Ray Davis. If you watch Hard Knocks, you know that not only can he run the ball, he can kick a field goal. This is red to 75. No huddle. 9. Here's a Bruce Smith Deca. These are numbered to 30. Hall of Famer. 10. Very nice. Another Ray Davis. This is 230. I think Blue Wave. Yep. 9. And missing on the Ray Davises. I guess those should have gone to Beckett. Here's 99. I think that's no huddle blue. Fuck me. 9. And these are all PC cards mostly, but we like them as 10s more than we like them as 9s. Here's a Keon Blue Deca number to 149. Another 9. Doing okay. We're not messing it up too bad. All right, this came out of the collection I bought. Andy Page's rookie, orange refractor to 25 auto. That's a 10. That's a pretty sweet card, actually, for any baseball fans out there. I looked this up. There was like one of it on eBay that someone was trying to get 1,000 for. I think there was one sale made, maybe in the 500 plus as a 10. So I'm happy with that. I'll get that right on eBay and recoup some money for that collection. Here's a Frank Thomas auto, just because I'm a Frank Thomas guy. Yep, just asked them to grade the signature or slab it. I don't really care about the grade. This is for my PC, but I love this guy's signature. Just so sweet. This is 2017 Flawless, number to 15. Sweet card. And the last stack should be, if it's not all junk wax, I'd be surprised. The first ones that are coming up are, you've seen these before if you've watched my videos. These are the Provisions 1991 factory set. I sent in a bunch of Bonds and Ricky Henderson, because those are the ones that are worth money. That was before Ryan Sandberg passed away, RIP. And so I sold a couple of 10s of the Sandberg I had for, I think, 140, and then in the next order I have a bunch that I think could be 10s. So these are Bonds. I don't think so. I typically don't buy into the pop control idea, but I've never 10 to Bonds, and I'd be curious if some of these are 10s or they're all 9s. I just tend to get a lot of 9s on them. There's Bonds, 9. Here's another Bonds, 9, pretty consistent. Here's a Ricky. I guess I just do better on Rickies. Well, not that time. There's an 8. Eat my words. Here's another Bonds. There's a 9. If you 9 these, you make a little money, and if you 10 them, you make a bunch, 100 plus. If you 8 them, you might break even. All right, there's a Ricky 10, $140, $150 card. There's another 10. Love that. There's a 9. So Ricky, 4 Rickies, 2 10s, 1 9, 1 8, and all my Bonds were 9s. And up next, looks like we have some 89 hoops. I went through these. I submitted a couple of Petrovics because he's just, for a while these 10s were, whoa, there is a 10 actually. They were in the 100 plus range. I don't think they're there anymore, but they, for whatever reason, even though this is not a very liquid card, they do fluctuate. Just a good card, good player, great player, and a sad story. 10. 9 on the other one. Here comes a boatload of Mark Jacksons out of the same box. 8. Okay, so if we don't get 9s and 10s on these Mark Jacksons, they're definitely pop controlling these. These were, when the Menendez Brothers show came out on Netflix, one of the top 10 cards that they were grading at the time. So probably graded a bunch of 10s. And okay, so there's a 7. There's a 7. There's an 8. Petrovic 9. Mark Jackson 7. David Robinson and Mark Jackson. Okay, so let's do the Mark Jackson first. 8. All right, that's insane, right? So I did 3 Petrovics, right? Same eye, same process. 9, 9, 10. Didn't get a Mark Jackson that was better than a 7 or an 8. And there's a David Robinson 10. So this is, if you collected cards back when the Admiral was a rookie, you probably liked this one. It's not super valuable. I don't even know. A 10 might be $50. Could have just bought it, but it looked good. Sent it in, and this will go right on my wall. I don't have one yet. So there it is. Final comments. I do think this little sample size pop control might be a real thing. I think thanks dickheads at PSA for grading these Mark Jacksons differently than all the rest of them, I don't know, but yeah, overall, hope you enjoyed the video. Again, I thought there might be something in here for everybody. And I do have another PSA and a Beckett order coming up, so probably get another one going pretty soon. Till the next time, happy collecting. Hope you have fun out there, and we'll see you soon. Later.